Hi guys, today Kenedi is making some gorgeous aura, ombre, dark galaxy style nails. So we're starting off with Serious Black and popping this on as our base colour. Once that's cured for 60 seconds, we're just going back in with second coat. So you are going to need an airbrush if you're creating this look how we are doing it today, but there are other techniques you can use for creating these kind of textures without an airbrush by using acrylic powder and sponge. Once that's cured, we're just going in and wiping off the tacky layer on the top of that. And in our airbrush, we're going to mix up some blue reflection just with some acetone, and this just waters it down. And we're just going to spray this on at the top corner, and this is just going to be the start of our little rainbow of colours. Next, we're using Perfect Pistachio and doing exactly the same thing. So you want to cure in between all of these little sections just to make sure nothing moves. So we're just going to add the Perfect Pistachio just underneath the blue reflection. And this is just going to create a gradient. Cure that, then we're using Apricot Pudding. Mix that up for your airbrush as well. And we're just going to be popping that underneath the Perfect Pistachio. So the effect of this nail kind of feels a little bit like a fake cat eye, so it looks like the colours are moving when you move the nail, but it's just a gradient. Cue with that, and then our final gradient colour is Periwinkle, which is very, very pretty, and again, just underneath all of those other colours. And once you're happy with that effect, cure it again, and then we're using our gel top coat nail sealer and just popping that on top of the whole nail. We're just sealing in all that gorgeous work that we've just done. We're going to pop that in the lamp for 60 seconds. And then we're just going to use one of our buffing blocks and buff down the top layer of that nail because we're going to do some isolated chrome and this will stop it sticking to anything else. So we're just going back in with Serious Black and adding in some dots, and these are eventually going to be stars. So we're just using a fine detail brush and pulling that dot up and to the sides and to the bottom as well. And we're just going to do some on a diagonal too, and this is just going to make it look really twinkly. And we're just going to do the same with the dot at the bottom of the nail. We're just adding in some little dots, and these are just going to make them look like tiny stars that are twinkling in the sky. You're going to pop that in the lamp to cure, and then we're going to use one of our gorgeous chromes and buff this into all those little stars and dots. And because we buffed the nail down with a buffing block, you can see it just wipes straight back off the areas that didn't have the serious black on. We're going to dust off all the excess and go in with a top coat. And you're going to see this design really come to life with top coat because it's going to bring out all of those gorgeous colours again. Cue that for 60 seconds and there we have the final nails. Aren't these just so cute? I absolutely love them. If you want any of the products that have been used today, it'll be linked down below and tagged in this video. We hope to see you next time. See you later, guys.